is going to be a what I eat in a day. For the last 2 or so months, I've been doing an elimination diet, and I feel like in the last 2 months, well, especially the last like 6 months, but like especially in the last 2 months, I've gotten really good at making some like delicious meals out of completely whole food, natural ingredients that are good for you. So I want to share kind of what I've learned and some of my go-to recipes and stuff like that with you. I'm in the process of creating it, but by the time this video goes up, I should have a blog created, which I'm super duper excited about. I've been working on this for a long time, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be done by the time this video comes up. So I'm going to be posting recipes and stuff like that to my blog from now on. All of the links for the recipes that I talk about are gonna be in the description box. That way it's a lot easier, so you can go see it on the blog, save it to like your Pinterest or something like that if you want to. It always drives me nuts when people have recipes just like written out in the description box, because they're super hard to like save and find later. So hopefully that's super duper easy and user friendly for you guys. So yeah, I wanna share some of the recipes that I have. The elimination diet that I am doing right now, I'm calling it a Whole30 because it's very, very similar to a Whole30. If you've ever like tried or heard about Whole30, it's basically a diet where you eliminate certain things from your diet that can cause irritation and stuff like that to your body. And then after 30 days, you bring them back into your diet and see if your body reacts negatively to them or if you're, okay to eat that or whatever. So anyway, I'm doing that, but I'm doing it longer than 30 days. And I'm doing it, it's kind of different. It's not technically a Whole30, so some of the things that I'm not allowed to eat are different. So like, for instance, I'm not allowed to have coffee because I can't have caffeine. So that's different than a Whole30. So some of the things are a little bit different, but for the most part, the recipes that I'm showing you today is stuff that you can have on a Whole30. So if you're watching this video because you're doing a Whole30, most of these recipes you would be able to do. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoy these recipes. I hope that you try them. Let me know in the comments down below if you try these and if you like them. I'm so excited for you guys to check out my blog. Definitely check that out. Let me know what you think. And yeah, let's get into the recipes because I think this video is gonna be super duper long anyway. So happy cooking. Okay, so we're gonna start out with breakfast, obviously, because it would be weird to start out with anything that wasn't breakfast. So I'm gonna show you my healthy banana chocolate pancake recipe. I created this recipe by myself. It is completely like Whole30 approved. Well, I guess not Whole30, but like my diet approved. It is, they're very, very good. My husband says that they're very similar to brownies. So let's try it out. I'm using buckwheat flour for the flour. Buckwheat flour is flour that comes from a buckwheat seed, so it's technically not a grain, it is a seed. It's very similar to flour, more so than like coconut flour or almond flour or anything like that. The only thing is it's a little bit more, I don't know if you'd say absorbent, but you have to use more moisture. So if you're creating a recipe or something like that, you have to use more moisture than you would with regular flour. So this recipe, I already did that, so you can just follow it. But if you don't want to use buckwheat flour and you just want to try it with regular flour, I haven't tried it, but I'm sure it would be basically the same. So pancakes are pretty easy. Just try it with regular flour if you don't have buckwheat flour. It's pretty easy to get nowadays because it's getting a little bit more common. So any health food store would definitely have it. I was able to find it in the bulk bins of Winco. So if you have a Winco near you, you could go there. We're gonna get started with that. We're going to start off by mashing up a very ripe banana, just one banana, and you want it to be super duper ripe because this is our only source of sugar in this recipe. So the riper, the better, and pick a big banana. And then we are going to add in 2/3 cup of buckwheat flour and 2 tablespoonfuls of cacao powder. You can get this pretty much anywhere. I got this at Walmart, and I believe it was just in the baking section. So just take a look for it. You can find it, but if you don't have that, you can also use cocoa powder for it, and it'll be perfectly fine. Now I'm adding in just a small amount of ground flaxseed, vanilla, baking powder, and spirulina. And I'm just adding in the spirulina and the ground flaxseed for the nutrient sake. If you don't have them or you don't want to add them in, they are totally optional. those are just both things that I'm trying to sneak into my diet here and there, and I decided that they went great in this recipe. So they're part of the recipe now, but if you don't want to put them in, you can totally omit them or add any other random anything and it would be totally fine. Now I'm adding in a half a cup of any random milk of your choice. I am doing coconut milk and 1 egg, and then that is it. And we're going to just mix it up a little bit, and it should look just like this. It'll be really thick. These pancakes are very thick and fluffy, as you'll see, but they're delicious, and it gives kind of that brownie fluffiness to it. Because they are so thick and fluffy, I always flip them and then squish them down a little bit just so they're not quite as thick, because if you leave them super thick, they do take a little while to cook, and I like to have my pancakes fast. But anyway, I am so excited for you guys to try these. Okay, getting ready to eat our delicious pancakes. There's several different ways you can eat these. You can use some like pure organic maple syrup. You can melt some peanut butter so it gets like runny and do peanut butter bananas. That's really good. You can get some berries, like if you do frozen berries and then you thaw them out, they'll be very like juicy. Put the berries and the juice on there. That's really, really good. So lots of different ways that you can eat these, and they're great. So why are you on the table? Sit down. Go sit down. Let me know if you try them down in the comments. They're very, very, very good, and check out the recipe in the blog post down below. So for my lunch recipe, I want to show you guys how I make chicken to put on salads. I do this actually more for dinner than I do for lunch, but it's a good lunch recipe and I really wanted to stick it into this video. But I do this like literally like once a week for the last couple of months, especially since it's been getting warm, and salads just seems like a really good thing to eat when it's really warm and you don't want hot food. So I want to show you how I make my chicken to put on salads, because I make it in a way that we don't have to use any dressing, which is really good because salads are like a super healthy thing to eat, but like I hate putting just vinegar and oil on my salads, and it ruins the experience of a salad for me. So this is a really, really delicious option that I have come up with that is completely just whole foods, completely healthy. And I wanted to share it with you because it's so good that I went from like literally never eating salads unless it was like at a restaurant and completely unhealthy to eating salads like once a week for dinners. So I want to show you how we do that. So I have found that the very best cut of chicken to use is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. It's so much more moist and flavorful than anything else, and it's convenient because it is boneless, skinless. So we're going to stick the whole little chicken thighs in there, and we're going to sear them on both sides in oil, and then covered in, I use garlic salt and Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And then we're just going to sear it completely, and then after it's totally seared, we're going to slice it up into little tiny like bite-sized chunks, like the size you would want on your salad. And then we're going to sear it again and get it very crunchy, and it creates this beautiful, just like super crunchy and crispy on the outside, but then still very tender and juicy on the inside. And then we're done. We're going to sprinkle that on the salad, and because we cooked it in so much oil with so much seasoning, and the oil is going to be so flavorful, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And the subtle flavors of this mixed together with all your toppings just creates the absolute perfect healthy dressing. Snack time! We are having an apple and some almond butter. This is one of my favorite things to just have as a quick little snack during the day. You can have any nut butter. I'm doing almond butter because it's my favorite. I technically can't have peanut butter on this diet. You're not supposed to have anything that's a peanut product. And cashew butter is really good, but it's a little more bland, and I like to make something else with cashew butter, so I'm actually going to show you this because I do have this sometimes too. So I'll leave a link below to the blog post that I discovered. Ooh, I did not mix it very well. That I discovered this Pickup Limes here on YouTube. She's amazing. You should check out her videos. Taught me how to do this, and it's really good. It's kind of similar to Nutella almost, but I used cashew butter and cacao and honey and a little bit of milk and mixed it up and made this delicious chocolatey stuff, and I'll eat this on strawberries, and oh my gosh, it's so good. It's like, it doesn't taste healthy at all, but it is completely made of whole foods and healthy. That's what I have for snacks. Okay, so for dinner, I'm gonna show you the dinner that's kind of my super quick go-to meal when I want to have something fast, but I wanna still like cook at home and not like go get Chick-fil-A or something. So I'm doing sausage, onions, and potatoes. That's just what I call it because that's basically what it is. I'm literally not even gonna create a blog post envelope for it or anything because it's like not a recipe. It's literally just throwing a couple things together. So I use sausage. This is what I'm using now. I really like this brand. I also like the Adels. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but they're basically the same. It looks exactly the same. There's like 6 different flavors in this brand, like 4 different flavors in the other brand. This is sweet apple. It's super duper duper good, and it's kind of gives that little bit of like sweetness that really just satisfies. And it's a chicken sausage too. So I like to try to get chicken sausage or turkey sausage when I can because it is healthier. But so I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna cut up an onion, and I'm gonna cut up like 4, 5, 6 potatoes, depending on how big they are and like how much I feel like eating. So anyway, this is what I'm gonna do for dinner. And it's literally that simple. I will douse it in a bunch of oil, like enough oil to where it creates like almost like a sauce, like a dressing. So it's gonna be very, very oily. I always use avocado oil for this because it is a really healthy oil. You could do, if you have coconut oil, which that's a little bit more expensive, so I don't like to use that much coconut oil at a time. Or you could do olive oil. Olive oil is really good too. So anyway, and then salt and pepper. And that's literally it. I'm gonna make that for dinner. So we're just gonna slice up that sausage, several potatoes, and your onion. And then you just cook it for like 20 to 30 minutes. I always start out with just the sausage and potatoes and then add the onions in the last like 10 minutes or so. Otherwise your onions will like...
Oh,
Are you talking? Are you talking? In the middle of my video. Sorry, he was talking in the middle of my video. Anyway, your onions will become basically nothingness if you overcook them too much. So I like to start out with just the sausage and potatoes at first and then add the onions at the end. All right, and this is the finished product. Okay, so it is late and I'm headed upstairs to do my skincare and probably read a little bit, maybe watch some TV and then go to bed. So I wanted to show you one of my favorite snacks. I eat this for a snack or sometimes more of a dessert. It's basically, I call it banana cereal. So I take a banana and I cut it up and put milk on it, and then anything just like yummy and crunchy that I want to put on it, I typically do cacao for that chocolatey flavor and the nutrients. Cacao nibs, and then I do hemp seeds, chia seeds, anything that's like yummy and crunchy and gives a little bit of nutrients. So it's nutritious and delicious, and this is like one of my favorite things ever. This is like, honestly, if I never get to go back to cereal, I would be okay because this is so good. Cereal is delicious too, but this is amazing as well. So anyway, thank you for watching today. I hope you learned a few new little recipes that you're gonna try out. These are some of my very favorites, and I will see you in a couple of days. Bye guys.